Good morning, everybody. We'll begin today's session now. This is the first question for the day. What you're provided here names of 6 people: Jaya, Sushma, Rama, Dilip, Sudhir, and Arun. They're all doctors who are working in a hospital specializing in gynec, neurosurgery, pediatrics, orthopedic, anesthesia, and intensive care. Not necessarily in this order, which means we might have to match the doctor with their specialization. What you have to guess is what is Rama's specialization if the following conditions are to be met. We have to find only Rama's specialization here from the options provided here. So the first condition that is given is Jaya, Arun, and Sushma, they work together. This is one group which is working together. Neurosurgeons always work with orthopedic. Neurosurgeon, they work with orthopedic in close proximity is given. Orthopedic surgeries cannot happen on the same day as gynec surgery. This is not equal to gynec. They cannot happen together. One group we already know is neurosurgeons and orthopedics. Also, we know that gynec and pediatrician, gynec need pediatrician on standby during operating hours, which means this is another group. Gynec and pediatricians, this is another group. Though Sudhir and Dilip work together, we are given already this that Sudhir and Dilip, they work together, which means this is one group. They have not met Sushma. They have not met Sushma, both of them. All specialization except intensive care need to work with Arun, who is an anesthetist. Arun is an anesthetist. I'm just writing ANES. Doctors don't work together other than mentioned above. So what we are given is Arun's specialization with an anesthetist is given. They don't work in the same combination unless until we are mentioned here. We know Jaya, Arun and Sushma is one pair and Arun has to work with all of them except for intensive care. Also another pair we know is Sudhir Dilip. Also in this case from the specialization we know neurologists, orthopedic, neurologists, neurosurgeons, orthopedics and anesthetists has to work together and gynec, pediatrician and also anesthetist, they have to work together. Further, we also know this is one group and this is another group, which means either this is the neurosurgeon, orthopedic and anesthetist group, or this is gynec, pediatrician and anesthetic group. Either or is a combination. We don't know what is the combination. We are keeping this on hold. But we know this is the group. What we have to find is Rama's specialization. Of all of this, Rama is not mentioned anywhere. But we know that all specialization work have to work with Arun and that except for intensive care. Because we already are able to match rough groups of doctors that work together and groups of specialization, intensive care is something which is not happening in either of the groups. And also Rama is not a part of any of the doctors group, which obviously means Rama has to be a part of intensive care, which means option B is correct. Move to the next one. Here you are given some pattern. You have to identify the correct order of rotation that happens here. What is the correct order of rotation that happens here? In this case, we won't try to find the pattern, but we'll go by the options only because there we are given the order itself. First option A goes here like this. Okay. So in this case, this is the first one. So here I will look at this part. This part becomes here, which is a slight rotation in this direction. Then it comes here. Then it comes here, again slight rotation. Then it comes here. So there is no connection between these two. So A is wrong. Then we'll move to the next one, option B. Option B starts like this. Okay. So this is the starting point. So here also I locate that group again. This group. From here, it comes here, which is a slight rotation. From here, it comes here, slight rotation. From here, it comes, here, which is again a slight rotation here. From here, it comes here, which is a slight rotation again. Again, a slight rotation, a slight rotation, a slight rotation, and then again a slight rotation. So B is kind of following, but I'll keep that on hold. I'm not yet declaring it. B is following, but I'll just cross check C and D again. C. In case of C, it happens like this. So we start here. Again, I locate this group. Then I will go bottom. So here, there's a drastic variation. And then here it stays as it is. So C is not possible. यहाँ पे ही वो match नहीं हो रहा है. With case of D, it is happening like this. So D may, from here again, I'm taking this part. Then it goes here, a slight rotation there, a slight rotation here, which is there. यहाँ से ये slight rotated है. यहाँ से ये part यहाँ पे आ रहा है. So here it not matches. D does not match here in this part. यहाँ. So option B, which I found earlier, is the correct one. We'll move to the next one now. Here you are given an object. What you have to find is you have to refer to the following image of the wooden product and read the statements below. First, it has a provision for cracking nuts and it has a good grip. Second, it has a good grip and it has a provision for opening cans as well as cracking nuts. Third, it has a provision for grinding nuts and its making involves drilling, twisting, and casting. Fourth, its making involves drilling, turning, and twisting. First condition, which is given, it has a provision for cracking nuts and it has a good grip. It's true because in this object, what would have been happening is this would have been taken out first by twisting as an action, okay, not by the making as not twisting as an action in the making of it. Then you would be keeping a nut inside and then this would be again put inside. So A is correct. Next one. In case of second option, it has a good grip, which is seen here. This is a good grip sign. And it involves opening cans. When you want to open a can, you have to open a can by cutting it, the edge. So B second is not true there itself. Third, it has a provision for grinding nuts. In order to grind nuts, you need to put nuts somewhere and then you need using some kind of a mallet or something, you have to keep on uh, having an up and down motion, basically, using a mallet. And it also says that its making involves drilling, twisting, and casting. Now, casting is one of the process which is not involved in wood. So 3 is obviously wrong there itself. Also, twisting as a process, you don't twist wood. In fact, if you want to create this kind of an object, you have to first put a log of wood in a turntable. This table that keeps on rotating the wood in some direction, and then using a chisel, we kind of carve the wood, and that's how we create these kind of shapes. So that's not twisting or even turning. It's turning, but it's not twisting. So 4 is wrong and only 1 is correct. From the options where when it says 1 is true, it's only option A which will be correct. So A is the one which is correct here. We'll move to the next one now. All right. So here in this question, we are given Thamarai's father has made a roti for her lunch. So here, what you're provided here is Thamarai's father has made a roti for her lunch. She folds the roti in the following sequence. This is a sequence. She folds it like this, then she folds it like this. You have to identify which is the folded roti. Please note here for locating which will be the folded roti, this is our clue. This mark is our clue. This mark in the front happens here and in the back view it happens here. You have to be a little bit careful there in locating. Okay. So when I'm locating the roti, this is the folding sequence that happens. When the first fold happens here in this direction, like this is what the front view will look like. Why will it look like this? Because I know this is folding on top of it. which means ये वाला जो part है, ये वाला whatever this part is will be seen on top. Okay. That's now when it is folded again in this direction, I know I'll fold this part here, half part here. What it means is this the half part which will be coming on the back side of it, which means ये वाला part इसके पीछे आएगा basically, वो आपका front में आ जाएगा. So this part will be seen in the front, which is this one. So the correct answer will be option B, which is this one. Okay, we'll go to the next one now. 4 cutouts of shapes PQRS are shown here. Using one or more of the cutout pieces, how many unique combinations can be made that will create a square or a rectangle? PQRS are the shapes. Please note here, we are also given that the following combinations are considered only one unique pair. This is one unique pair, but these two are different pairs. Okay. So in this case, these are the various combinations. This is a combination which is made with P and Q. This is a combination which is made with only Q. This is Q, P, and R. Sorry, P and R. This is P and R. This is P, R, and S. And this is P, S, R, and Q together. So a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 combinations can be worked out, which is option B. Okay, we'll move to the next one now. Here we are given 5 friends, Puru, Kadir, Roy, Sham, and Tom. They live on the 5 vertices of a regular pentagon ground in a clockwise order. That is also given. One day, while Puru was walking to meet Roy, he met Kadir, who was on the way to meet Tom. So the combination that will work out is like this. One day, so this is a pentagonal thing, pentagonal ground. And these are the way in which Puru, Kadir, Roy, Sham, and Tom, they live in clockwise direction. You can order it anyway, that does not matter. Okay. So I can also start with Puru here and I can locate it, but the answer will still remain the same. What you are given is one day Puru was walking to meet Roy. So red line is Puru. Puru, he was walking to meet Roy. And on the way, he meets Kadir, who was on the way to Tom, but then he changes his mind and joins Puru. Kadir changed his mind and decided to go with Puru to meet Roy. At this juncture, Kadir changes his mind and decided to go to meet Roy here. After meeting Roy, all three went to Tom's place. So Puru first travels this much distance, Kadir travels that much distance, and then from that juncture they meet Roy. And then after meeting Roy, all three of them went to meet Tom. After at Tom's place, they had a cup of tea at Tom. If all of them took the shortest routes cutting through the ground, which of the following statement is or are true? Till Tom's place, so much. Kadir walked more distance than Puru. Please note in this case, till Tom's place, Kadir and Puru are practically walking the same distance. Up till they meet at the juncture, they are traveling the same distance, and then from then they are actually traveling the same distance. So A and B both, where in B says Puru walked more distance than Kadir, they both are wrong. Then we'll move to the C. Till Tom's place, Kadir walked double the distance than Roy. Kadir walked double the distance than Roy. Yes, he does walk double the distance than Roy because he first takes, agar ye pura Roy is traveling X distance, Kadir walks 2X because Kadir not only walks from Roy's place to Tom, which is X, plus the distance which he walks till Roy's place, which is again X, so it is double. So C is correct. While returning to their respective homes, Puru has to walk the least. From Tom's place, Puru's distance is least, which is naturally seen. So D is also correct. So correct answer is C and D both. We move to the next one now. Okay, we'll move to the next one now. Here, we are given a sphere, a cone with equal heights. They are resting on a surface along a straight line. If a source of light is fixed and the light rays are parallel, which of the options shows the correct shadow correct? Which of the options shows the shadows correctly? Here, one or more option is correct. Okay. In this case, just by the visuals of it, one can find that option A and C are same because the length of shadows. So this is a cone, this is a sphere, and this is a cylinder. Cone, sphere, and cylinder. Cylinder, cone, and sphere. Cylinder, cone, and sphere. If I compare the length of shadow in A and C, they are actually the same of all the three, and the length of shadow in B and D are same. What this means that either A and C is the correct answer or B and D are the correct answer. Why? Because they are same. Both A and C are same and B and D are same. So all I have to do is compare A and B together and I will be able to find which is the correct pair. Is A and C the correct pair or is B and D the correct pair? Either or. Okay. Why? Because the shadows are the same. I was able to compare that first. Then, once I compare A and B together, look at this part. The shadow of cylinder in B ideally should be how I have marked here. Itna. Only then, now why will it be same? Because if I compare the cone and the sphere together, it's kind of similar, but I feel the cone shadow is little bit longer compared to sphere. Now, if I even take that as a space for some doubt and then say that, okay, the same distance has to be there in the cylinder also, shadow of the cylinder also, which is this much, which means that the shadow of the cylinder should reach up till this height and not how it is shown here in B. Ideally, when I compare the length of the shadow in A, it is all matching. All of the lines are matching with each other. So I straight away know B is wrong answer and A is correct, which means B and D are wrong and A and C will be the correct pair. We'll move to the next one now. Here, you're given some statements. You have to find which of them is true for the hour and minute hand of an analogous clock. First, hour and minute hand would make 90-degree angle with each other 24 times in a day. This is a wrong statement because the hour and the minute hand will make 90-degree angle 44 times in 24 hours, or the formula is 24 times. This is given in 12 hours. So A is wrong. The hour and minute hand will overlap less than 24 times in a day. This is true because they will ideally overlap 23 times. So B is correct. The hour and minute hand will overlap exactly on the hour and hour number marker only once every half a day. Every half a day means 12 hours is half day. So in 12 hours, they will overlap each other at 12 o'clock. This is the only possible where they meet at the number marker together. So C is correct. Next, the hour and minute hand will make acute angle to each other for almost as long as it will make obtuse angle with each other during the entire day. This is correct. Acute or obtuse angle will be equal. In fact, it is equal even in 1 hour's time. So it will be equal across 24 hours also. So D is correct. The correct answer is B, C, and D. We move to the next one. Here, what we are provided here is we are given some conditions. Whenever in these kind of questions where you are provided conditions, the first thing to do is to actually start writing them straight away instead of waiting, instead of reading the whole thing. It will save you some time in the exam. First condition says Sunday is longer than Monday. Monday is shorter than Friday. Wednesdays are shorter than Saturdays, which are in turn shorter than Sundays. Thursdays are shorter than Saturdays. Now, by this condition, I can already say Thursdays are shorter than Saturday, which are shorter than Sunday. And Tuesdays are longer than Saturdays. And Wednesdays, or this can also be written as Saturday is shorter than Tuesday. I'm trying to write all the shorter ones. So this can also be written as Monday is smaller than Sunday. Tuesdays are longer than Saturdays, and then Wednesday and Thursday are both longer than Friday. So Friday is shorter than Wednesday, and Friday is shorter than Thursday. This is also given to us. Now, from this, all I can derive easily is when I combine all the equations together and find Monday is shorter than Friday, which is shorter than Wednesday, which is shorter than Saturday, which is shorter than Sunday, or I can also write it as Monday shorter than Friday, shorter than Thursday, shorter than Saturday, shorter than Sunday. Another condition is also that Saturday is shorter than Tuesday. I don't know whether Tuesday will come here in this point or it will come here because we are not given any condition between Tuesday and Sundays. So that is a little bit ambiguous. So the first condition, Wednesday could be as long as Thursday. We have to find which is true. So Wednesday could be as long as Thursday. It can be true because Wednesday and Thursday, they are equally, they are kind of similar in terms of in terms of the days which are shorter or smaller than, like both Wednesday and Thursday are longer than Friday. And both of them are actually shorter than Saturday and Sunday. So there's one of the possibility that they could be similar. So A can be considered because it's given could and it's not are, is, or are, or is, or it's given must be. It could be, which means it's a possibility. Next. Tuesday could be the longest day of the week. There is also possibility, like I said, Tuesday might come here or Tuesday might come here, either of them. So it's possible that either Sunday or Tuesday would be longest. So one of the possibility is Tuesday also. So B is also correct. Why? Because could is given. C. Up Mondays are shortest days of the week, which is logical. Monday यहाँ पे आ रहा है, which is logical. So C is correct. D. Friday could be as long as Sunday. Friday or Sunday may there are many differences, and Friday is naturally shorter than Sunday. Why? Because of the equations that we have already established. So D is wrong. And A, B, and C, all three are correct. We'll move to the next one now. Here, three rings are shown. They roll in the specified direction and stop when the centers of the rings coincide at line XX dash. Which pattern would they make when they coincide at XX dash? So here the pattern that they will make can be derived. So here the pattern that they make can be derived from the number of the degree of rotation that they will go through. Now, just by these, please note the colored lines. This is purple colored lines, this is yellow colored lines. The purple colored line is with, say, C1, this is C2, and this is C3. If I just draw or try to draw this purple colored line on C1, it will wrap up to here. Versus when I wrap this yellow colored line to C2, it will wrap till this point. What it means is C1 will rotate 90 degree and C2 will rotate 180 degree. Likewise, purple and red color wala ye wala jo line hai is the same, which means C3 will also be rotating 90 degree. So but of course C1 and C3 rotation direction is different, okay? So when I say C2 is rotating 90 degree, ये जो line है, वो आपका line यहाँ पे आएगा, which means A, B and D are correct and C is wrong. When I say C1 is rotating 90 degree in this direction, ये वाला जो आपका angle है, वो कहीं पे यहाँ पे कहीं पे आ जाएगा आपका angle curve. So if I were to look at it, A गलत आएगा आपका and B and D are still in the running. When I rotate C3 till 90 degree, the rotation will put this curve along this part. So B is correct and D will be wrong. Okay. With this, we'll end today's session here. Thank you so much.